Hello and welcome. My name is Leah Kopke and I'm a 3D motion design freelancer. This is my 3D modeling podcast, Ambient 3D Animations. Today we are going to talk about the Destructor Force and how that affects both Pyro and Particles. So let's go ahead and jump into Cinema 4D and get started. So here we are inside of Cinema 4D. You can see that I have applied an emitter, a pyro emitter tag to this cube. You can find that by right-clicking on a cube that you've added to your scene and going down to your simulation tags and clicking on pyro emitter. For right now, I'm just leaving the settings for the pyro emitter on default so that it's really easy for you to replicate what I have here on my screen. We also have a basic emitter. So we have this pyro emitter and there's this basic emitter here. Now you can find a basic emitter under your simulate menu under emitters, basic emitter. So when I press play, you're going to see that this cube starts emitting fire and this starts emitting particles. If we would like to add a Destructor Force into here, which is what we're talking about today, we can click on our Simulate menu, go down to Forces, and find Destructor. And you can see that destroyed my fire. Thus the name. It can also destroy particles. So now you can see this is no longer creating particles. So this affects the fire and it affects particles. Basically destroys them, makes it easy to remember. And you can affect the randomness in here. If I increase the randomness to 50, you'll see that that won't really affect the pyro emitter as much. Like, it's still doing the same thing as before, it's just getting rid of the whole fire. But what it'll get rid of 50% of is the particles. And you can see that if I adjust this, it randomly gets rid of a different amount of the particles. So now it's at 83%. You can see that it adjusts how many of the particles are randomly going away. Now 8% of the particles are around. And since my basic emitter is set to 100 per second, that's what's being adjusted with this destructor relative to that amount. You can also adjust the size of your Destructor Force. So I can change the size to something else in here. Maybe I'll adjust this and make it a little bit narrower. You can see that's only affecting those particles within it. Same goes for the fire. Now we can also invert this. And now you can see the part of the destructor object that's inside, the part of the cube that's inside of the box is still emitting fire. Now the part of the basic emitter that's within the box is still emitting particles. So we just inverted the effect of it. So turning this on and off will reverse that effect of the destructor object. And that is all the settings. Those are all the settings for the Destructor Force inside of Cinema 4D. I hope you found this helpful for working on your simulations. If you would like to learn more about Pyro, which is what we're covering right now on my podcast, please hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so that you'll be notified when the next episode comes out. I hope to see you here next time on Ambient 3D Animations.